Wait, what? Guan? A Smite commander? Huh? Guan is a Smite commander? Ragnar is a Smite commander? Wait a minute. Nevsky as a combo commander? Would they ever do this? Would they ever make these old skill damage commanders and convert them into Smite and combo? Here's the secret. You don't even have to change their kit. This is the video that's going to go through all the different kits of all these different commanders and how they could just convert it all to Smite and combo. And oh my God, we would use it like crazy. I will even show you the 7 marches I would run. So stick around while we have some fun with this as we speculate and maybe just dream a little bit of getting more Smite and combo commanders to be converted. Hey everybody, I'm your boy War Daddy Chadsky. I do videos for Rise of Kingdoms all the time, and I love doing these kind of videos. A lot of fun. We're going to have some fun with this, okay? And we're going to talk about this because, I don't know, maybe we can get the ball rolling. Maybe we can get some conversation to be had. If you enjoy these videos, throw a thumbs up on here. Give it a like. And really helps out the channel, helps out these videos, helps out the almighty algorithm they keep telling me about. I don't know anything about that. I just know I put out content, and that's all I care about. And if you haven't subscribed, consider doing so. You can hit that subscribe button. We are pushing 75,000 subscribers, and you can hit that bell to get little alerts when we put out this type of content. Well, they have done this before, okay? They have taken an old skill damage commander like CJ. Not a lot of people ever use CJ, okay? You guys can see here, I don't have a whole lot of kills with him. And I actually ran him behind Attila in an Artifact KVK, and that's like where all my kills came from. And so from there, they've done it with CJ. They've done it with Bert. They've converted skill damage commanders. Now, for Cavalry, obviously, they converted Bertrand to combo. And with CJ, they converted him to Smite. Okay, well, these are K2 commanders, all right? And I think they wanted to implement combo and Smite early in the game. Now, for people that don't know, the game used to only have skill damage commanders. That's all we used to have. That's the only commanders we had in the game. Skill damage, skill damage, skill damage. Like, that's all we had. And so when everything was skill damage, it was like everything was right in the world. But then they released our girl Gorgo to go along with Luce, and that was the first introduction 2.5 years ago to Smite. Now, it took a long time to kind of catch up and for them to actually be able to put out talents with a Smite tree now and for them to actually do some things. And then about over a year ago now, they put out our first true combo commander. Now, Arthur is a combo commander as a primary, but as a secondary, he is a skill damage commander, okay? But it was our first ever time we got to see a combo tree, right? And so with that being said, we are in a situation now to where we are getting Smite and combo commanders everywhere. It has been a long time. It has been, I think, 2 years now since they have released in a regular release of generation commanders, of next generation commanders. It has been a long time since they have released a skill damage commander for infantry and a skill damage commander for cavalry. Where's my guy here? Where is Belly? Was he the last one? Was he the last skill damage commander they released for cavalry? Now, I know Arthur kind of was, okay, but not really, because he's still a combo commander as a primary. But since then, they have told us and they have projected that when they release new commanders, they're going to stick to the types of damage dealers that they're going to be for cavalry and infantry. Okay, you got to remember, we got Ragnar. Okay, Ragnar was kind of special because Ragnar did not come as a next gen commander. He came with the King of All Britain KVK. All right, so that's people are going to be like, well, Ragnar just came out in the game a year and a half ago, or I guess a year and 9 months ago, and he was a skill damage commander. But you got to remember, that was a special event, okay? So from there, we're sitting here looking at this, and eventually they were going to get phased out, and they have been now. I started talking about it back in November, 5 months ago. Like, listen, we're going to be stuck in a situation to where CPO and Ragnar is just not doing it, okay? The old wedge formation with the skill damage enhancements that it does, just not doing it anymore. These commanders are getting too old, okay? And it was the same thing with Cavalry. Now, it took longer for the Cavalry because we didn't get near as many combo commanders until just recently. But people were still running Nevsky with Joan. People were still running Huo, okay? And honestly, people are still running that stuff today. There are some people that still run a Cavalry skill damage march and an infantry skill damage march. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? They don't do quite as well, and maybe the next formation release, I think next week, might give them a little bit of a revive. But I don't think so, y'all. So if they're not going to be in a situation to where they are ever going to add to skill damage of infantry and cavalry, then why don't they just do what they did with CJ and Bert? Why don't they just do what they did with them? In fact, we have talked about it many times. And if they would just switch, you can keep the same kit and just switch any skill damage or any skill damage enhancements, switch it to Smite for infantry, or for cavalry, switch it to combo. Easy way to do that. And I say this because if Guan if this dealt 3-target AoE of 2,000 damage factor of Smite with an additional 1,000, or I'm sorry, that comes later, 2,000 damage factor of Smite to 3 targets with a 3-second silence, a Smite silence, I would be using Guan in the field right now. 100%. No questions asked. If this was Smite. Okay, let's look at the rest of his kit. You get a normal damage buff. You get a normal damage buff. It's going to buff Smite. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. All of a sudden now, what? Guan would be like a rally commander? Because this is just for rallies, cities, and strongholds. But no, even if you don't use that, okay, you go to his 3rd skill, all right? He gets a big attack bonus. 30% still high, super high. 50% march speed, and he has a healing factor, okay? That doesn't do a whole lot, all right? But let's look at his 4th skill here. If the Saint of War skill hits exactly 1 target, you got a 50% chance to deal direct damage of 1,000. Okay, if it hits 2 targets, you got a 50% chance to deal an extra direct damage of 1,400. So you got to say that's Smite damage. Anytime this thing fires off, and if it hits 1, you got a 50% chance to deal another 1,000 damage. If it hits 2 or more, you got a 50% chance to do 1,400 damage, and that's all Smite, all of it. That's like all Smite. How crazy could that be? Yeah, I'll run that. And then go to his expertise, and if he's got a shield, okay, you got to think of some pairings for Guan. He has a shield, you're going to deal 15% more Smite damage. Let's just pretend that's Smite. Okay. And then after leaving buildings or resources, you get that march speed, which we all know. Back in the day, we used to run around with Guan. We used to node hop and nobody could catch us, right? Well, you change his skill tree to Smite tree, and all of a sudden, Guan might be cooking. Like you can keep the talents or the skills the exact same. And if you're telling me I can get a 2,000 damage factor with 3 targets and a 3-second silence, I am using that like crazy with Pincer. Let's ride. It's the same thing with a lot of these commanders, guys. Ragnar. Like if you just took this to 2,200 damage factor and that's Smite damage factor, and then you do additional damage for 2 seconds to those same 3 targets of Smite damage, all in. Oh my God, all in. Like you could easily go put Ragnar behind Sun Tzu. Holy jeez, just fire off Smite. Like, let's go. And then you got infantry defense bonus. He's still slow, and he does a normal damage reduction. Okay. You're going to trigger a chance, all right? When you hit with a basic attack, you're going to put the drain effect. So all of a sudden now you can keep his skills the exact same. This is the one thing that he would have to change with the fact that he's going to do Smite damage for his damage, all right? And then if you're in the field, their troop takes 25% less skill damage. You can even keep this. You don't even have to change that to Smite. But every time your rage reaches 70%, you do gain a 15% bonus to Smite damage dealt for 4 seconds. Oh my God, yes, all in. 3 target AoE, additional damage, drain effect, still kind of slow, but he gets a little bonus to Smite damage, and then his expertise obviously enhances his active skill. He would be an awesome Smite commander. Like, we would use Ragnar today. All right? You go to CPO for crying out loud. Same thing. 3 target, 2,000 damage factor. You bring his health debuff back into effect. So 2,000 Smite damage to 3 targets. Awesome. Okay? Massive infantry attack. Super fast off territory, 25%. Okay? Get a health bonus. You do additional Smite damage of 500. Holy jeez. Additional Smite damage of 500. Pair him with Luce, which we talked about, CPO Luce, and the synergies there. And then you come over here, and you're going to take skill damage. You have a 50% chance to reduce that damage. You don't have to change this, because this is just damage mitigation, right? But then you're throwing up a shield to you and 3 nearby friendlies. Okay, well, if you throw up a shield to whatever March Guan is in, now Guan all of a sudden, hey, yo, gets this little skill damage bonus, okay? All right, so you throw up his expertise, he does 10% more Smite damage. That's all that's got to say. That's all you got to change. All you literally have to change is this is Smite, all right? This additional damage is Smite, and then the enhancement is Smite. That's all you have to change, okay? And then 30% faster if the current target is silenced. Well, then Guan CPO would be an awesome Smite combination. Too many good synergies. It's why it ran for years in the game. For literally 3 years, we ran this March. Just change him to Smite. Give us a Smite tree and let us run Pincer. Oh my God, it would be so awesome. Okay? So what about Cavalry? We talk infantry there. Now, I'm going to give you guys my marches of what I would run. 100% what I would run. But what about Cavalry? If you told me that they were going to turn Huo into a combo commander, okay, let's just think about this. Let's say this said deals combo damage to a targeted troop, just single target damage, and it deals combo damage, 2x combo damage of 1350, which would get you the 2700, okay? And then you have the march speed reduction. That's all they'd have to do. That's all they would have to do on this. Keep the cavalry attack bonus, keep the march speed bonus, the damage to archers, keep that, okay? You get this bonus of skill damage, but for the first 15 seconds, you got 30% more skill damage. Just make that 30% more combo damage. Like, just change it. Like, you don't have to do anything else to the skills. Just change it. And then, of course, you got the 150 less rage, which makes him fire off super fast. Can you guys imagine Huo with 1350, with 2700 damage factor here, with a 30% increase to combo damage, and rapid firing that thing? Holy jeez. And then he's got a normal damage bonus, which is great, because after 15 seconds of combat, you lose the combo damage, but then they just give you some normal damage. Awesome. That would be awesome. Here's another skill damage bonus. Just change that to combo. Then you're running up proc combo damage of 50%. Let's go. Let's go. Oh my gosh, 30% defense. That's great. And then you come to his expertise and you can figure out if you want to run his expertise or not. That's completely up to you. I don't run it. Okay. Huo combo, Nevsky combo. Like, take 2,300. All right. Take 2,300 and just divide it by 2. What is that? 1150. So he does 2x combo damage of 1150. All right. But you still got all the cool stuff. He's got the defense reduction. Big time defense reduction that he does. He's tanky as hell. 20% attack, 20% march speed, 20% health. Easy. Cavalry defense, 20%. He gets 80% of stats. And you got a 10% damage bonus when the target is surrounded. Awesome. And you take 5% less damage. You don't have to change any of this. And then here, This is what would make Nevsky amazing because he would reach Attila levels of enhancements, okay? You do 25% more combo damage, okay? And then you have a chance to trigger an additional 35% more combo damage. Oh my God, run this with Delta and pump it into my veins. How awesome would that be? Like, you don't have to change anything with Nevsky. Just convert him to combo. Holy jeez. You go put Nevsky with Achilles? Oh my gosh. It would be out of control, okay? And then you deal 5% more normal damage. Keep that. That's great. Whenever the troop is hit with a basic attack, you got a 10% chance to gain 30% health for 3 seconds. Make Nevsky more tanky. Awesome. Who else do we have on the blocks? Joan? Oh my God. Oh my God. Joan as a combo commander. Like, I'm losing my mind over here. You can run Joan 2,000 damage factor. So you do deals combo damage 2x to 3 enemy troops in a fan shape. Damage factor 1,000 times 2 with the combo. That would be 2,000. I'm all in. For the next 3 seconds, up to 3 nearby allied or friendly troops are going to deal 5% more damage and gain 20 rage per second. So she adds her buff with combo damage. You don't have to change anything else. Nothing else. You don't have to change a thing. Okay? What about this? Attack bonus, 20%. March speed bonus, 10%. Triggered march speed bonus outside of Alliance Terry, 10%. Hey, yo, 5% more normal damage. Awesome. That's great for combo. Let's go. What's her third skill? Cavalry damage, all damage of 5%. Great. Okay. And whenever you use an active skill, you're going to gain 30% more normal damage. Yes. Buff herself. Oh my God. I'm in. Make her a combo commander. Let's go. You don't have to change anything else. Oh my God. The probability. You could run her with Gang and this damn thing would never die. It would never die. 10% health. And whenever you run as whenever their troops secondary commander uses an active skill, it has a 10% chance to trigger the Sacred Banner, right? Oh my God, that would be so much fun. And you get a Cav health bonus of 10%. Joan as a combo commander would be out of this world. Like, out of this world. How fun would that be? You don't even have to change the damage factor. You don't have to change anything on her. Just make this combo. That's it. That's it. And then her expertise, 5% more counterattack and 5% more damage to troops with more than 30% remaining. Like, yes! Again, stick the IV in me and pump this into my veins. I would take that in a freaking heartbeat. There's others that we could talk about with this. Like, you could make Ethel. I don't know. She's leadership. You could just keep her skill damage, I guess. Mehmed. Like, if you could do this as Smite or combo, it'd be great. Cannons go boom. Like, let's go. What are the commanders? Belly? Make him a combo commander? Oh, my God. One that is just dying for it is Khan. Make Khan a combo commander. Now, you would have to change his damage factor because that's just not enough for single target. But you get my drift, guys. Like, they don't even have to change the skills. Keep the skills the same and make your infantry commanders Smite and make your Cav commanders combo. You want to blow everybody's mind? That would be so oh my God, so incredible. Nevsky would be Attila levels of enhancement with damage himself. Holy jeez. It would be incredible. So what would I run? Huh? What would I run? If I could do that, what would I run? Well, I went back and forth and thought about this, and I put it right down here. BQ and Ragnar. That sounds amazing. That is just a slug it out, tanky, malice stacks, okay? AoE damage everywhere. Not very fast, but this thing could just slug it out. Like, let's go. BQ Ragnar with Ragnar being a Smite commander. Let's go. Let's go. Then from there, I was kind of trying to figure this out because there's a lot of synergies with CPO, okay? Let me show you something. CPO has got this on his expertise. You gain rage 30% faster when the target is silenced. So maybe you just keep Guan and CPO. Like Guan CPO, that's how I would do this. I would run Guan CPO just like we did for skill damage. It's just skill damage is just falling off. I would run Guan CPO full Smite. It's back, baby! And it would be so freaking good. If this was all Smite, if the enhancements for this were Smite damage enhancements, okay? Oh my gosh. The shielding, the silencing, the synergies, all Smite, put it with Pincer, run it with the Smite tree. We are cooking. We're cooking, I tell you. And then from there, you could probably just keep Sun Tzu with our boy Luce. That's probably how I would do that. Probably how I would do that. Or you could run Guan with Luce and then Sun Tzu with CPO. But look at that. If these were all Smite commanders, oh my gosh, it would be so awesome. I would run them all. Every one of them. Wallace, you're benched. CJ, you're benched. Alex, you're benched. Even Philip, get out of here, bro. Okay, now let's go to our cavalry, shall we? If we could run Huo as a combo commander, which means we could run Arthur as a combo commander as a secondary, we go back to that same concept of Huo Arthur, except Huo is enhancing combo damage, all right? And then Huo is doing combo damage. Arthur's doing combo damage. And then Arthur does all the fun stuff that Arthur does. That would be fantastic. Oh my gosh. Rapid fire Huo Arthur combo. Combo attacks going everywhere. You get a combo attack and you get a combo attack and you get a combo attack. Give the drums. Give them the drums, y'all. It would instant proc those tier 5 equipment things like crazy. Drums would be going crazy. Oh my God, it would be amazing. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. What else would we run? Well, I mentioned this. You run Gang Gang, all right? Gang Gang's strength is that he is going to heal based on the combo damage dealt by the secondary commander, okay? You go run him with Joan, and you go let Joan do AoE three target combo, and then let it fire off again? Oh my God, Gang Gang would do so much healing. It would be amazing. Joan combo, let's go. Joan normal damage, let's go. Like, oh my gosh, I'm all in. I'm all in. Combos going everywhere. Joan's back in the meta as a combo commander. Let's go. Oh my God. And then probably my most favorite march I would ever run, because it shows that I'm an Attila simp, but I am not that much of a simp, okay? I have some objectivity, right? You're telling me that Nevsky, with his force skill, is going to be enhancing the combo damage by up to 60%. That, guys, that is Attila level buffing. Attila literally does 50%. Where's my boy Attila? He's around here somewhere. There he is. Oh gosh, I gotta go do this thing. Hold on. Where's my Attila? Where are you, bro? Where'd you go? Hold on. Cavalry? Attila. He does 30% more normal damage after his active skill for 4 seconds, right? And then if you're hitting a target with less than 50% troops remaining, it's an additional 20%. That's 50% more normal damage. Well, guess what that does? That enhances combo. That's why he's so freaking good. That's why we run him with Achilles. He's incredible. All of a sudden, you give Nevsky this right here. Troops deal 25% more combo damage. Whenever their troop uses an active skill, it gains an extra 35% bonus to combo damage for 4 seconds. Yes! The Nevsky Achilles, even with a lower damage factor like this broken up, like we said, 2x combo of what, 1150 apiece? No problem. Because we're enhancing the Palian Spear craziness. Craziness. And the Divine Heritage where that Palian Spear fires off more often. Could you imagine Nevsky firing his active skill? Then it triggers 60% combo damage. Then the Palian Spear fires. And then it just so happens within that 4 seconds of this enhancement, the Divine Heritage fires. And you run Palian Spear again. Oh my God. How awesome would that be? How much fun would that be? Like you would, the bottom line, okay? And then, of course, Shinzuge. We'll just keep them the same. Keep running Shinzuge. But oh my gosh, how much fun would that be? You would bring all these commanders back. You don't even have to change their skills. You just change any of their skills to Smite for Infantry and Combo for Cav. Just change them, and then any enhancements, give them their skill, give them their active skill or their damage type. Just any enhancements, make skill Smite damage enhancements. That's all you got to do. That's literally all you have to do. And this 7 March lineup right here on the right, this is how I'd run it, y'all. Oh my God. How awesome would that be? Huo Arthur full combo? Yep. Gang Gang Joan full combo? Yes. Nevsky Achilles. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine? Could you imagine a Nevsky? Hold on. Where's the fat man? Where's my Gang Gang style? Where is he? Where's the Gang Gang style? Let's go. Can you imagine Nevsky with Subutai and 3,000 combo damage factor based off of that enhancement? Yes, let's go. I love it. I love it. How much fun would that be? Oh my gosh, how much fun would that be? Can you, wait a minute. I just got a brilliant idea. Can you imagine? Think about it, y'all. Sargon, all smite damage enhancements from the odd stacks, and go let him run a rally with Evar? I don't know if that'd work or not, but think about it. Sargon smite damage, odd stacks, pile up the stacks of smite damage taken. Like, let's go. Oh, I hope you guys have had as much fun watching this video as I have had making it, because that's one of the fun things we get to do. Hey, it's the weekend. Let's have some fun. What if Guan Smite? Nevsky combo? What? Yes. And you don't even have to change their skills. You don't have to change anything. Just make them smite. Make them combo. And we go cook, baby. If you guys enjoyed this video, seriously, throw a like on here. Helps out the channel. Hope you guys are having as much fun as I am, as I did when I made this. Oh, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your morning, your afternoon, or evening. And we will see you later, broskies.